Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic and its community. I'm Bobby, also known as Blazin' Bob, and today I'm joined by Mel, aka Melarina. How you doing? Riveting.
Hi, sorry, I'm still setting up. I don't know why you called on me first.
It's because that's what I always do, but welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Also, we have returning 2 weeks in a row. I know he talked a ton, but he's here to talk even more this time. Welcome to the show, Hammer Dance.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me back.
Yep. So sorry about last week. Me and Wiki and Scotty just would not let you talk, no matter what.
All right.
You just have to kind of, with that crew, you just kind of have to butt in. Like, there's the only way to talk.
I know. Next time I need to slam a bunch of gin and tonics. And I think it'll get going.
Yep. Yeah, but wait. And the voice
ahead of time to haze him by not letting him talk. That's what I heard.
The voice you hear right there, that is Table Slam. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back. What's up, everyone?
Thanks for coming. And the man himself, no hit motherfucking Jerome. How you doing?
Yo, doing great. Just feeling great. Just getting excited, trying to invest in these new Waylaid Supply things that just hit. So,
Yep. I was thankful that I did not. I just kept them in the bank, and everybody said, you better turn them in quick. Glad I didn't, because I made about 60 gold across them all.
Same.
Had to spend to make
all of them,
but yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it to wait. Although,
do we know if you can item restore those, because I have something to do if that's the case.
I saw somebody.
They turned it off.
You could.
Oh, I thought they turned it off. I thought.
Whoa, really?
Or did they
I
mix?
saw it in G chat earlier. I mean, it was long enough ago that maybe it was a mistake and they fixed it, or maybe that person was just blowing smoke. I don't know.
Well, they turned off the other ones. Yeah, they turned off the other ones, but I wonder if they didn't turn off the new ones when it launched. This is very possible. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to shake out later, but we found out today and quickly turned in all the boxes, thanks to people like Hammer Dance and Sarth. I saw had a video on it. You know, you can get in early and make some gold, but I'm sure the price is going to basically normalize to just your break even every time you do one in the future. You know, if it's 2 of this item and you get 12 gold, there'll be 6 gold a piece, you know, type of deal. So hopefully you got in on that early. If you listen to this podcast, you missed out probably. So sorry. All right. Well, let's just start off the show by saying we stream the show live on twitch.tv/BlazinBob. That's BLAZZINBOB. Like to start off thinking about our tank patrons in Croxford and Turtle Whale. Want to mention once again, the YouTube channel is going to be changing. There'll be a link in the description. Actually, the second half of this episode is going to be on the new channel, and then every episode is going to be on the new channel going forward. So youtube.com/@Warcraft Reloaded, and link will be in the description. Help us have an easy move over. It's going to be weird and probably fail badly, but it'll be all right.
Dude, fresh hype.
Yeah, fresh hype, right? And then our Discord server is warcraftreloaded.com/Discord. Boy, I'm messing this all up today, aren't I? All right, we're going to start off the show with a couple voicemails. And the number for that is 816-866-1066 or speakpipe.com/Warcraft Reloaded. We'll actually, prior to that, do the comment of the week. Then we'll move on to maybe just a little bit of what we've been doing, maybe some highlights this week type of deal. And then we'll talk about some news and then just discuss stuff. The show is definitely on a time schedule today, so we'll just see what we get to and we'll talk about it. There's way too much to talk about every week so far, and there's no way we can talk about it all. So we're just going to get you as much as we can while we can. With that said, the creator of the comment of the week table, would you like to do the honors and read this comment of the week here?
Absolutely. The first one there?
Yep.
Okay, from Henry Bustos 6974. Hammer needs to calm down. Fucking interrupting everyone, bullying Bob like that. Honestly, how could he? What a fun podcast, even with all the yelling.
Oh no.
Interrupting, make it work.
You broke up a bit for me there, table, dang it.
Oh, at what part?
I don't know. Did it break up for you guys? It definitely broke up on the recording.
And somehow.
I heard it.
Dang it.
Bob's being DDoSed.
Do we want
Hammer,
to?
how could you do
I know
this?
it's Hammer's fault somehow.
At this point, it's like a meme. I should just be in the background of every podcast, just silent, sitting on that.
Complete the heel turn, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was great just because, I mean, there were so many angry comments for me about me specifically, and so many people angry. And just to let you guys know, I feed on those salty tears of yours, so keep them coming. We broke 170 comments this week on the freaking video. Wow, was that? I'll be a heel for that any day.
Farming that.
Ooh, by the way.
What's up? What'd you say?
Oh, 170 is a lot of comments. That's a lot.
Hell yeah. And half of them were like, fuck Bob.
Oh, well, I mean, that's good. That's still 170.
It was great. It was great. Yeah, but I thought it was funny because Hammer was the most behaved of anybody on the entire show. And it was such a great comment. So thank you for that. Keep those coming.
Excuse me.
Make 'em funny.
I do not think I was that unbehaved in the episode.
Okay.
Mel's like always the chaperone, basically. Like,
remember the episode
the
I
unruly
wasn't
field
on?
that is Warcraft Reloaded.
True.
Mel is usually chaperone.
Oh, here, hold on, guys. I got to see if I could fix something's going on with mine. I'm going to change our server and see if maybe that helps. Although it's not.
I don't know if you know this, but they put the Discord servers on the same layer that Blood Moon's on, so that's the problem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here we go. Try this. All right. Oh, now I can't hear anybody.
Oh, nobody's talking.
Testing,
Hello,
testing.
nobody
You
was
weren't talking.
Oh, okay.
We're
That's
letting you
actually,
focus.
this seems way better. Okay.
I mean,
Change
you're
it to
still
east.
lagging.
Am I?
Seems good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the layers.
Yeah. We got this. Scuffed. All right. Yeah. So yeah, great comment. Thank you guys so much.
We're all on the same one.
Oh my gosh, what is up with the Discord? Why are you failing me during the podcast here?
Right.
See, we should have.
You're
All right. Now we're on Central. I don't know.
Seems good.
I spent
That's better.
hours trying to set up a green screen and almost burned the house down. So you're pretty chill by comparison.
We're back. We're back. All right. Well, let's start this first voicemail and hopefully the lag is stopped.
Hey, Mel first, Bob, and guests. This is Juggler Rasta 420, Midwest emo mixtape guy here, and I'm having kind of a dilemma. I leveled a character on Crusader Strike. My friend stopped, so I have characters on All Growth, and I got that's Homer.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, we
No.
figure this out here. Hold on. Something's going on here.
I mean, we've had voicemails come in that sounds similar to that, but I thought
I
that one started
listened.
smooth and then Bob.
Yeah, I listened to it before. Let's just exit stuff.
At least he got
Actually,
the
just how he
word dilemma,
sounds.
though.
You don't. It's just how he sounds, actually.
Oh my
Breaks up
gosh.
mid-speech
Choppy eye.
sometimes.
Oh, this is horrible.
I mean, the most important part where he was talking about Mel was clear, so I think we can probably just move on. I don't know that the rest was,
The main
necessary.
takeaway is that Mel is first.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start it over. Here we go.
420. Midwest emo mixtape guy here, and I'm having kind of a dilemma. I leveled a character on Crusader Strike in SOD, and my friend stopped playing, and so I have other characters on Wild Growth, and I got into a guild that's doing Gnomer. It's really nice. We built a great relationship, and I thought, why not transfer my hunter from Crusader Strike over to Wild Growth? So I went to the character screen in SOD, and down in the corner it says shop, and you can purchase a character transfer for $25. I said, why not? It'll save me a lot of time leveling a new character, whatever. It was super easy for me. And I clicked it. And it allows me to click a character, but when it says click a server, there's no servers there. Come to find out that SOD is a seasonal server, and in the listing it said, or in like the rules of transfer, it says seasonal servers. I read it, didn't think SOD was a seasonal server. I don't know why, but now I'm left with a paid transfer, and it's gonna cut me off here.
I've got the second one here for us. Oh my gosh.
You have reached your
Part
time
2.
limit.
So I'm left with this dilemma where I put in a ticket. The whole ticket system is automated, so there's no options for me to actually talk to anybody to get a resolution or a refund or something. It allowed me to purchase in the NFT, but I didn't know.
I don't know what the hell is going on right now, guys, but it's driving me absolutely bonkers.
Know that
I think he was
that
talking
SOD
about
was a
this in chat the
seasonal
other day,
server. I
too.
just kind of like read through it really quick, the like details of transferring, and I just clicked it, and which is my fault. I understand that, but you used to be able in vanilla to send in a ticket. It would take some time. A GM would take the time out of their day to message you, and you would have some sort of resolve. I feel like their customer service has gone down the poop chute. They've fired a bunch of employees. They're just kind of automating everything, and that takes away a lot of the classic experience, I feel like, with Blizzard. It's kind of frustrating. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. Why not bring it to you guys? This is my new character, Wet Commander on Wild Growth Alliance side, signing out.
That was painful, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what is wrong. Check task manager and every resource is 50%. I don't know what is going on, but yeah. So he purchased a transfer. He goes to transfer, and there's no servers on the list, but he's just got a paid transfer, and he's followed up in the WCR Discord, and he's unable to get a refund or anything. Like, it's just $25 sitting there paid that he can't get, and he's called, he's put in tickets, all kinds of stuff. Do you think he's the only one?
A response saying? Has they gotten a response saying they can't do anything about it? Because I know in Wrath, a buddy of mine accidentally bought like the 6-character transfer thing twice, and he put a ticket in, and they actually were able to like refund it. So I don't know if it might just take a long time for him to get a response.
Yeah. There's a response that says the ban was correct, and we will not be receiving more tickets from you on your appeal. So it's a perma.
It's a Burma.
I'm assuming it has something to do with the fact that this is like right after staff cuts and stuff too. So,
which I think a lot was customer service.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all,
so like the automated system can probably.
Oh, sorry. On my end, Table had stopped talking, and then I started talking, and then Tables was still talking again.
Oh no, I was done. Blame it on the lag.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Hopefully it clears up.
I was just saying, their excuse could be, you didn't read the fine print. I agree to the terms and conditions of this purchase.
True.
But I mean, I'm sure they'll get back to you. I think it could take 3 to 6 months for them to get you a refund.
Yeah.
I think, SOD's kind of like, once you're in, like you can't switch families, right? Like once you're in the group, you can't, just go somewhere else. For that's all.
I think even when SOM was the seasonal server, the only transfers they were doing were off of SOM to normal realms. So
Mhm.
at least I don't remember being able to transfer from one SOM server to another. So I would assume that the same would be true for Season of Discovery as well.
Yeah,
which
you had to
kind of
like
makes
completely
sense.
re-roll on if you wanted to jump to like Jom Gabar or Shanker or whatever.
Yeah.
Just if you can't, like, there shouldn't be an option there, right?
Yeah.
Probably because you like this. Ideally, perfect scenario would be for the situation to be resolved for this player, but also for Blizzard to maybe change his protocol a little bit. Like you buy the transfer first, and then you apply the transfer to a character. I think, like by the same logic, if you're trying to transfer to a locked server, I don't think there are any locked servers anymore. But if you were trying to do that, you would buy the transfer and then try to do the transfer, and it wouldn't go through because it's a locked server, and then you're out the transfer money from that also. So like that's kind of an unfortunate like order of operations there. Like it should do some sort of thing to check where you want to go first before it takes your money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure
I
you're right. Those
mean-
transfers are like, I'm like if that person logged on to like Wrath Classic right now, that transfer is probably there as well
available.
to use. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's smart by Blizzard, right? Maybe like I wonder how many people this has happened to, right? Where they just got all these extra $5,
People that just don't
Yeah,
care
sorry.
enough to like follow up on it. They're like, well, I guess I'll transfer my bank alt from,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they should add like a warning there. It's like, hey, this is a seasonal realm. Cannot transfer off of here.
Don't they purchase it in BattleNet though? Right? Like don't you purchase it in BattleNet and then it like
You could do it in game in the shop
Mm.
or on the launcher.
got it.
yeah, dude, I'm in game right now, and I just brought up the menu and I brought up shop, and there's the only services that are available are the character transfers on the shop.
Oh my god, I just bought it by mistake.
There's the single one, the three,
Another
transfer,
$5
6
to
transfer, and 8
Blizzard.
transfer.
I got the 8
So, like,
transfer package.
It's accessible in game on SOD right now. So like they should probably
Lovely.
disable that if that's not a thing that you can actually do. It's very misleading for it to be available
Yeah.
to click it in game inside and then not be able to actually do it.
Yeah. I wonder though if because it's the same engine as Era, right? Like don't they allow transfers in Era? I don't know how hard that would be to turn it off in SOD and keep it on in Era. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's true. It could because of that. I don't know.
But-
Sounds like a technical thing. Who knows? Like they don't have a huge team, so like they probably have to triage all this stuff.
Because the BattleNet team is probably separate from the two. They're probably a team on their own, the ones that deal with all that shop stuff. I could see that.
Yeah. So who knows how difficult it would be for them to like disable that shop functionality in SOD. But I mean, do something. They maybe even if it's just like a BattleNet like launcher announcement or some shit. Just so people don't accidentally do the same thing.
Sorry,
'Cause
guys.
I highly that this is the only person this has happened to.
Sorry, guys. This is weird, but I'm going to have to pause the show just for a second. And I'm going to recall, like everybody leave the call, and I'm going to recall everybody because this is messed up right now. I'm sorry, guys. I got to fix this. Testing. All right. Are we back?
Here we
The
go.
sequel.
All right. Is it working? Hopefully. No, this is such a weird occurrence that never really happens ever. Okay.
It's the combined star power of all the guests just creating a vortex.
Yeah, dude, I can definitely
There's
see
no way
that.
to handle it.
Jeez. Sorry about that, everybody. Hopefully we're good from here on out. I'll go ahead. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do about that, but we can we at least get the word out. I definitely employ you to tweet at Agrend. He'll push it probably. I mean, he can't do anything about it, but he'll push it probably to people who would know how to do something about it probably. Or just tweet at the customer service. I found that tweeting at people and companies oftentimes works a lot better than calling their customer service. I'm just saying. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
If they can't do something about it right away, like at the very least, like, we can spread the word to make sure that, because I highly doubt that this is the only person that this has happened to.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. All right, well, let's listen to the last voicemail.
Hey, Bob, Mel. It's the old thing guy from last week.
I do not understand why this hates us. Maybe.
As a rogue main, I do hate that both the Abyss daggers are world drops and cost a ton of gold. And I got to thinking, do you think the team should take a look into the BOEs at the level range and consider example, Gut Ripper being better than both the STV and Gnomer Dagger, and try and make those items better than the BOEs, and try and move those BOEs into a pre-raid or second best option category. And then on another question, what would you think if they were to make a BIS weapon for each class or whatever that you could get in multiple ways? Like, do you think it would be okay if you could get a BIS dagger from both from a raid drop, the PvP event, and maybe some extremely long epic quest line? Like, would that be good for the game or bad for the game? Then you would have the people that don't like the PvE could get their BIS weapon from PvP, or the people that don't like PvP could get their BIS weapon from the raid, and other people could do it via questline if they wanted to. But just curious on your thoughts. Also, Bob, you were right. I agree with you, Jordy, and Simon Eyes. Easier raid content is better. It allows for you to kick back and chill with the guildies and keep coming back week after week and enjoying your time. Whereas with the hard mode progressions and everything, it's great, it's wonderful, but you push through it, you finally kill it, and then you're done. You don't want to run it anymore. You want to move to the next item, and that's it. But Bob, you were right. Bye.
First of all, we can't trust anything this man says anymore after that comment. So, I mean, we can just totally disregard that voicemail.
Oh, it turns
My
out.
first takeaway was that he said Bob's name first.
Yeah, and then he said Bob's right, and like, I mean, he's obviously a couple screws loose.
Bob
or
and Mel
something,
has a better ring to it than Mel and Bob. Mel and Bob sounds like Mel on Bob.
Oh, it sounds like Melon Bob, which sounds like a delicious treat.
See?
Oh, man. Well, it looks like I think I figured out the culprit. Glad I updated Chrome right before the show started, because shut that down and everything went back to normal. So I'm flying blind here without my web pages.
Okay, we can look at them for you.
Mm-hmm. So I think his first question was about his first question about PV,
The BOE.
PvP, the BOEs,
He
right?
was talking about how like world drops are better than what you can get from.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Rogue is like the niche case of this. Like, it is true of Rogue, but I don't think it's true of other classes. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know it's not true of Hunter and Warrior because those are the other two I play, but I don't know of any other classes that have BIS weapons that are not in Gnomer.
I mean,
Anybody?
it's got to be calculated, right? Because like we've known about the existence of these weapons for freaking 20 years. So like, I highly doubt that they accidentally made items from the new raid that are worse than the world drop. Like, they had to have decided specifically to keep the world drops as the better thing, because like, it's not like they drop a ton, you know, when something crazy like that drops, it's special. So like, it makes sense that something that rare should be, you know, at least as good as the raid stuff, if not a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I think having those world drops, I think the problem is people don't feel like they're as accessible, right? Like, they can't just run Gnomer and know that eventually they're maybe going to see it, right? But listen, I only saw the staff once in BFD, so, you know, anything's possible. Even if it is in the raid, you'd almost rather it not be in the raid and have a really low drop chance in the raid, because that hurts even more.
Yeah. I never missed a lockout on 2 warriors. Never got Hydra. Ever. Never got it. Didn't miss a single lockout. I had 2 warriors first week. Never missed a lockout. Never got it once.
I had a similar thing, man. The 3 druids that I've rated on, only one of them got a Fist of the Wild during phase 1.
Oh, wow.
And then the second druid just got one like the other day.
My Hunter got Hydra. My Rogue got the crossbow, but my Warrior didn't get Hydra till level 29.
Feels bad.
Sounds about right. And I mean, this even goes back to Vanilla Classic and even original Vanilla. You know, I mained a Warrior in Vanilla Classic, didn't miss a Molten Core lockout for the entirety of Vanilla Classic, saw a grand total of 1 of each binding, and I didn't get either of them because there were 2 Warriors in my raid team. One had 1 binding, one had the other. So I saw 2 Thunder Furies got built in front of me, and I never saw another binding after that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I maintained Nax without a Thunder Fury because they both quit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, at least you
Naturally.
built lifelong friendships with the tanks, right?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it motivated me to have better threat because I couldn't rely on Thunder Fury threat, but I'm sorry, one of them quit. The other one continued playing.
Also, Rogue might be an outlier too because the BIS offhand is green. And I believe I haven't got a chance to talk to Simon Eyes about this, but I believe it's because of poisons. It's because of you're wanting fast daggers with stats that build up poisons rather than, I assume, whoever built the dagger items for this new phase, they made them slow, which you would want for Mutilate if your targets didn't have an umpteen billion amount of armor. So BIS might even change after the armor change. I don't know. We'll have to see there.
Very true, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard for Blizzard to know too, like what crazy things the WoW community is going to come up with to like figure out a different strategy that makes something else BIS. And I don't know how much more powerful they are than the ones that drop in Gnomer, or if there's other, you know, comparable drops and it's just slightly better to get the world drop. But I think it's fine if you don't have the BIS dagger, right?
No. I mean, I don't have it, but I mean, I've got pretty close to it, so I don't care.
Bob, do you want to start a fund?
I have no intention of getting it.
We can do a gut ripper fund for Bob. Everybody donate from the podcast. Though you should send the gold to me just so nobody risks getting banned. You know, we don't want to risk a ban.
Yeah. You can send
sure,
half of it to me, half of it to Jerome. You know, so we'll disperse
3 gold in the mail right now.
Oh, that's a ban.
I'm poor.
Right.
Yeah.
I had 80 silver on my purse the other day, and I was like, what was I trying to do? I was trying to buy consumes for raid, and I was like, well, I guess I'm good.
Money
And
back
that
for
really
free. I have
annoys
like
me.
2 copper.
As long as you can play play pass, you're fine.
Trump's got the cash coming out of his ears. He doesn't even know what to do with it all. But you can find all about how to do that over on, No Hit Jerome on YouTube. He tells all the good secrets over there, so you should definitely check it out. But what about his second question? His second question is kind of a neat one. Like, he's like, hey,
multiple ways to acquire stuff.
What if he's saying one item. What if every class, or spec had like one item that was really good, that they could work towards via PvE or via PvP, like either route. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. But please, no gold dumps, because that's how the crafted gear is right now. It's a big, long fucking chain, and man, gold dumps everywhere.
I have some thoughts, but I'm curious to hear what everybody else has to say before I dump my thing.
I think it could work if you did PvE and PvP. I think a quest line puts too much into it. I think the epic quest line sounds really great. I think in all reality, they would put a ton of work into building an epic quest line, and absolutely nobody would do it that way because it would be longer and harder to acquire that way than, suffering through some PvP or, going to a raid. I think the other thing is there's probably one that's going to be easier to get, right? So whether it's PvE or PvP, one of those ways is probably going to be easier to get. And so everybody's going to do it that way anyways. So again, and I love the idea. I just don't think in practice it would work.
Yeah, I don't think that, personally, I don't think that would fit this version of WoW, because really what makes this version of WoW, in my opinion, special and fun is that there is a lot of like RNG and weird like niche situations like this where like, oh, cool, if you're a rogue, you're screwed. You got to get this dagger. that's like 1 million gold. And, but and the reality of it is like, you don't need it to do well, right? I mean, if you're going for hundreds and all this stuff and like you're at 99 parses across the board and like that's the reason you can't hit 100, like I get it. But at the same time, I don't think like one niche situation like this is that bad. And I'm leveling a rogue currently, and I have no intentions of buying Gut Ripper anytime soon. But like it's not deterring me from like having fun or thinking that I'm not going to do well,
Yeah. The content's not hard enough to require that stuff to clear the content and still have fun.
Right. And I think like making like an epic quest line, like the idea of doing an epic quest line is cool, but like Mel said, no one will like do it like that. Like it's going to just be something that everyone just rushes through as fast as they can. And either way, if you're not someone who can do that, you will still be left behind and you'll have it way later than the other people that get it. So it would end up kind of being the same thing, in my opinion, regardless. And I think it would take a lot of like the classic RNG feel of like trying to get your drops and all that away.
Yeah, I feel like, especially with the quest thing, like they spent a lot of time on the crafted quest line from phase 1, and I'm guilty of this myself, but I don't know anybody who actually read all of the quest text or cared at all. But then on my second go around, I like on the Shaman that I've been leveling, I specifically turned off auto accept and autocomplete in Questy. And I'm reading all of the new quest text. Like there's a couple of the Shaman runes that are kind of follow a similar storyline.
He's reading it in character.
Yeah, totally.
No, dude, don't let him bullshit you. We were in Discord last night. He was like, "You must take this to the farmers." I forget what voice you were doing, but it was hilarious.
It must have been one of those goblins. I decided to make him a whiny guy from Jersey or something.
In Jersey.
But yeah, like I decided to like actually read it all because like it's cool. Like I'm into the lore and stuff like that, and I started to feel bad that like they put all this work into making something interesting and fun for us to consume from a content perspective, and like nobody cares. So I was like, all right, I'm choosing to care. But like
the rest of us over here,
it doesn't mean that it wouldn't be cool. Like this idea that this caller had about having a quest chain, it's a cool idea for sure. Like those long epic quest chains are cool, but like I think a lot of people like the idea of it more than they actually like doing the quest. Like the idea of a cool long epic quest chain that like takes you across the world, like it sounds like an epic adventure, but then when you have to do it, it starts to feel like a chore, and people are like, where's the cliff notes?
Yeah.
So like it's a cool idea, but in practice, like like Hamber was saying, like people are just gonna rush through it.
Yeah, and then when you level an alt, now you got to go do that entire massive quest line again because now it's
Yeah.
available to you. So like if you're not doing it, that's just crazy. You should do it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like you're like,
like
I'm gonna
these
jump into
movements.
raid and whatever I get every reset. Like that just feels better in my opinion. But
It's like TBC attunements all over again.
yeah,
I actually kind of like those.
Me too, as long as it's not like
No.
back to back to back to back to back. Like I would do one character, then level a second character. By the time I'm ready for attunements, like I'm not like hesitant to do it again.
Well,
Like,
then
I had 3
like half your guild went that first night, right? And then 3 other people needed it, and you had to go help them, and then 3 other people need, and you're like, okay, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah,
So really, I'm
it's
really
like you need a
realizing now that
refractory
the
period
main-
of some sort.
Yeah, right. I think the main problem really when it boils down to it is pugging. Like having to pug
Yeah.
that stuff was the nightmare.
Fair.
But I think like that person's idea is kind of interesting in a way. Like the thing that I immediately thought of was to like he's talking about like having one like giga item for every spec or class or I don't know if he said spec or if he said class, but having that 1 giga item that has 3 different methods of acquisition. I think it'd be cool if it was you could choose between any of the 3, or you could do a little bit of all 3 and get it faster. Or not necessarily faster, but like, you could just do PvP the whole time and get it through only PvP, or you could do a combination of PvP and PvE, and the combined progress from both of those things could go towards acquiring the item, or all 3 or whatever. Just so you're not like locked in at only one thing the whole way through. You could chip away. Like if you like doing all types of content, then you can do the content that you like to do, and all of it counts towards your progress. I think that, but I don't know how difficult that would be from like a technical standpoint. Like I don't know if that's even possible for them to do that, but conceptually, I think it's not a terrible idea.
I don't know. Listening to this now, I don't want it at all. I'm just thinking about the 2.5 hours we spent trying to kill the dark, or trying to find the dark passenger, or the dark whatever rider, or dark person.
Passenger. You've been watching Dexter lately?
Yeah, that's Dexter's bad side.
Oh, well, then I'm lucky I didn't find it. But I was
very
looking for the shadowy figure. That's it. And killing everything in sight. 2.5 hours, discouraged, went back, deleted my cache, shows up at 5 kills. Was it the cache? I don't know. But I've had to delete the cache for other rune problems in SOD, which is a real big bummer. But yeah, I was not a fan of the quest line this time around to get your gear. Like I thought it was just enough before, and now I hate it. Like I hate the gold sync of buying the patterns. I hate the whole process. It's really turned me off on. I don't even know if I'll make the epic. Like I'll probably just open the boxes and sell the mats and just be like, yep, call it a day. See
I
ya.
have bad news on the profit of those mats at this point.
They're done.
They're
So.
done.
Well, I get boxes. I'll just like open them and sell the shit, like rather than care about getting the loot. Like at this point, I'm just annoyed enough to just not do it.
I haven't done it, so I have no comment.
Yeah,
on that question.
I love Blizz, but boy, I hated that. And yeah, I love what they've been doing
You
with
hate it though
side,
because you
but it's
tried
horrible.
to get it all done in one sitting, right? Like I don't think that's how it was designed, but
that goes back to exactly what I was saying before. Like whatever is there, everyone is gonna, myself included. Like you're gonna just want to do it as fast as possible, right? And like
Mhm.
I think Winky was talking about this last time. Like that's not technically how these things are designed, but that's the way that every classic player approaches it. So it's like these things that are meant to be an epic long thing that you do over like even like a week or 2, whatever. We sit there and do it in like 3 or 4 hours, like ripping our hair out, bashing our face against the wall. And we're like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, and I agree. Like I hated it too when I did it. I absolutely hated it. So
Well, yeah, and for me, it's not exactly because I'm luckier than most. I can have tons of time to do all kinds of stuff. Like I did it all last phase 2. I'm enjoying doing all kinds of PvP, but I think the frustrations came from like 2.5 hours of 3 of us destroying demons in Desolus, and the only fun we had was the Alliance blood we bathed in along the way, and It's just like it was a bummer. And yeah, so and then just to get it all done and see 15 gold a pattern and be like, what? It was
Okay,
just
but
like,
I just did all of this.
it's like that old meme from Spider-Man or the GIF. He's like, oh wait, you're serious? Like, I mean, it's just no. So yeah, there's been a lot of things. I don't mind it taking time.
For free in phase 1, but we have to pay for them in phase 2. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you have minded it as much, Bob, if at the end of the quest line you just unlocked the ability to craft the materials and the helmet?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been great. Like it, and then of course the bug. Like the bug was a big bummer, and hopefully they could fix this having to delete your cache stuff. But like, yeah. The whole gold sink at the end is just a deflating thing, and it's just, and then having to get stuff from other people is kind of a pain in the ass, but not horrible. But yeah, the whole process of that is just rough for me. And you know, if I swiped, I probably wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
but I don't.
I can't help but think that that it could have been an attempt at a mitigating step towards RMT gold being in the economy. Like,
yeah, but then it screws all of us that didn't do GDKPs in fucking phase 1.
Right,
Like,
but like like the people that had, you know, botted gold or bought gold or whatever, like spend it all on the stuff to get it first. Yeah, they have it now, but also their gold is gone. Meanwhile, the people that had a normal level of like gold increase will get it at the time that Blizzard intended them to get it.
dude,
So like you're kind of being like, if you didn't do GDKPs or buy gold or whatever, like in a way you're quote unquote behind. But I don't know. I would look at it instead of being behind, you're on pace and everybody else is ahead. And yeah, they got ahead by doing things that aren't, you know, necessarily allowed or, you know, right or whatever, however you want to put that. But like, you know, I don't know. It's a tough thing. It's a tough nut to crack for sure. Like, how do you remove the body gold from the economy without upsetting somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with having to wait longer to get my stuff if it means the bodied gold is out of the economy. But that's just me. That's my opinion. I'm okay with that sacrifice.
I would combat that saying the way you remove it is you make it less valuable. Like you make gold less valuable, and then bada bing, bada boom. Like, and by taking away all these gold sinks, you make it less valuable. Am I crazy? I feel like I don't know. I feel like everybody seems to think this is a good thing to have all these sinks, but I just don't.
I don't know enough about economics to give like an intelligent take.
I mean, I took Econ 1 and 2 in college, but I mean, that's about it.
I think that sinks are more incentive for people to give people another reason to buy gold.
I know, that's what I see. That's what I think, but half the people don't seem to think that. I don't know. I don't get it.
That was just my initial thought, was that like, there's body gold in the economy. Let's put some expensive stuff in so people get rid of it. And then everybody else has to grind there slowly. Like that's what I assumed right away. And I'm not smart when it comes to economy stuff. So that's, you know.
I guess I'm cool with them doing that types of stuff, but like, make it a mount. I don't care. Make it a mount you buy for gold. Like, you know, something that doesn't gate your progress in the game.
Right.
I guess is where I'm at.
But like mounts are optional. Like you don't have to buy a mount. Like you can get one essentially for not for free. You have to put in time to get it, but you can get one from STV. You know, you don't have to buy a mount. The people that wanted one ASAP, yeah, they bought them. But the people who wanted to save their gold didn't and waited until they could get the STV one. So like, it's like the people that want stuff quick are the ones that were RMTing. Like they're the ones like the instant gratification stuff. Like those, like that's probably, or in my mind, that's why they added the sinks in, is because the people who were RMTing to do stuff ASAP are doing the stuff ASAP and removing all that gold from the economy. But I don't like, again, I don't know anything. I don't know enough about economics to know if that's actually what's going on, and I don't know what's in Blizzard's head about it, but that's just what makes sense to me.
I just think they were worried about there not being enough to do, so that the gold sink is like the end game of this phase. They This game isn't designed around being level 40 for months and months, so they had to add some gold sinks. But I think they admit they went too far because 2 days ago, somebody complained about there being too many gold sinks on Agren's Twitter. And 2 days later, he said he was going to do something about it. And 2 days later, they add in the Waylaid Supply gold farming method. So just kind of seemed like they went too far with the gold sinks.
Which could be really cool.
Honest, they could have had these gold sinks in there before they decided to ban GDKPs, right? Like they could have had these things in there with the amount of gold and things that people were getting before, and then didn't necessarily like reconsider it after they did that. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to be a gold sink, whether it's player driven or Blizzard driven, right? Like there's going to be either mats are going to go way up for certain things, or the auction house items consumes are going to go really high. People have the money, and so you're going to sink it in some way. Which way is less impactful to players who didn't buy gold or do GDKPs, right? And I would rather not have to pay 2 gold per consume on my character and not have some of the crafted gear right away.
I think you do make a good point, though. I think Agren making the changes to the boxes, as that stabilizes, I really think it'll basically just be, it'll fall to where like everybody's making like a 2 gold profit on those boxes, and everything else is selling for like right up to, you know, for the most part, the items that are useless type of deal. Like, I feel like that'll be neat.
So crafting those items, they're going to sell faster. They're going to sell for more. And then you're going to make, like, let's say you make 2 extra gold per hour doing open world farms. That's really good for the average person. So it's like a big boost.
Yeah. And then
sort of like the trickle down implications of the boxes change is like more people are being active in the economy with crafting and stuff like that, as opposed to just running GDKPs for their gold.
One of the most fun parts of the game too. And it was a shame because you'd put those items up, the Waylaid Supply flips, and people wouldn't even buy them. Like they weren't doing the boxes. So this is a good change.
Yeah, and I mean, for me specifically, I've fallen in love with farming. I always used to hate it, but now I have a hunter, a little pet, a little buddy with me at all times, and we just kill shit. I have mining and skinning, and I just have a little blast, and then I send the mining stuff to my engineers and the leather to my leather workers, and now I can make stuff and sell it. Like it'll be a huge profit rather than just selling the raw leather, you know. And then if you want to get lazy, you can just buy the leather, you know.
That's the big Bob buff more than anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's cool. And they had to add in stuff that was worthwhile, which I guess we'll talk about in the news.
And then the other implication too is like if people are more incentivized to do crafting, they're either going to buy the raw materials off the auction house, or they're going to go farm them themselves. The people going to farm them, sure, a lot of it might be botted still, but you know they're allegedly cracking down on that stuff. But if you, as a legitimate player, decide to go out in the open world to farm stuff, and you're on a PvP server, you can run into some open world content through PvPing against the opposite faction.
Dude,
the
PvP's been so good. The open world PvP in SOD has just been fucking beautiful. Like we're not talking about STV yet. We're just talking about just anywhere in the world. It's been beautiful this entire time, man. I freaking am so in love with it. But
I'm seeing Cheese Bags in chat has said something interesting. The box situation needs to be more clear though, because some are only given like 2 gold. There was a similar thing in phase 1 with the lower level boxes too. Like some, like you know how like when you're looking at the rep gains from, some were giving more rep than others. So at max level, the rep and the gold amount is going to be different depending on the like quality of the box or whatever. I assume at some point, I don't know if they already have it up, but yeah, I don't know. Like there was I know from Wowhead, there was a Wowhead guide that showed like the brackets of like which ones gave what rep or whatever. So I don't know if they have one up for the new ones yet, but I assume they will soon, and that would probably tell you all you need to know about which ones give the most.
It'd be, I mean, let's not make it too easy though. Like they could put how much the box would give you on fill, but I don't know. Might make it a little too easy, but. Like from what I found, a lot of the things, anything from gatherings seem to be the low 2 gold thing. Any leather, like any of the herbalist stuff. Like they seem to be a lot lower when I turned in today because I turned
Like the raw
them in.
materials ones.
Yeah, so maybe that's where it is. But I'm sure Wowhead will probably be your best bet to like check out. Guys, we don't have a ton of time today, so I say we just skip what we've been doing lately and we just move right into. Hey there, sorry to cut in the middle of the episode here, but this is where we're pushing the second half of the episode over to the new channel, youtube.com/@Warcraft Reloaded. There'll be a link right after this little clip ends. You just click on in YouTube if you want, and the link's also in the description. So hopefully this isn't too jarring, but we got to try and let people know where the new spot is. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you very much for checking out Warcraft Reloaded Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future content.